singing and dancing? Is he singing and punching people?
You know, I've been on YouTube for 7 years, although I recently made more videos during, the Coconut Panini, but that's besides the point. I have learned over the years that anything can be a musical, and that was true when I talked about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, but this musical, well, I've never heard of it, and apparently it was made in like 1966, and Germany had a production of it in 2016. That's insane. So in case you couldn't tell from that beginning video, 10 out of 10 might I add. Best of my best. Today we're talking about It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. That's the actual name of the musical. It was created in 1966 and it was composed by Charles Strouse with lyrics by Lee Adams and book by David Newman and Robert Benton. It's obviously based on Superman. And while the show's original Broadway run was well reviewed, it did not catch on with audiences, closing after 3.5 months and costing an unprecedented $600,000. It's a lot back then. The show was Broadway's biggest flop at the time. Well, I would say the TV special they had was also bad, which you will see in the background when I talk about the synopsis and the production history, because yay me. Also, Jack Cassidy was in this, in the original version of the musical. Jack Cassidy. You might know him for Columbo.
Lieutenant Columbo, Los Angeles Police Department, homicide.
I'm terribly sorry, Lieutenant, but you can understand my cautiousness. Forgive me, I'm at your service.
That's quite all right. It was a terrible thing.
It's ghastly.
See, my partner and I decided to split, go our separate ways. I'm sure Joanna must have mentioned that to you.
Yeah, she said something about that.
Did she also mention the fact that Jim wanted to do some serious writing?
He never was a very good liar. You might just want to know the truth.
Anyways, let's just get started with the video. This is It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman! So the plot for It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman revolves around Superman's efforts to deal with Dr. Abner Sedgwick, a 10-time Nobel Prize-losing scientist who seeks to avenge the scientific world's dismissal of his brilliance by attempting to destroy the world's symbol of good. Is that Superman? He's technically the world's... whatever. Additionally, he comes into a romantic conflict... Superman comes into a romantic conflict with Max Menken, a columnist for the Daily Planet newspaper who resents Lois Lane's attraction to Superman. Hint, that's Jack Cassidy's character. He's Max Menken. Anyways, he later teams up with Sedgwick to destroy Superman. So that's the synopsis. That's the plot of the whole show. The musical opened on Broadway at the Alvin Theater on March 29th of 1966.
Wait a minute, what the heck is the Alvin Theater?
Well, Walter, I'm glad you asked that question. You see, the Alvin Theater is actually the Neil Simon Theater, a theater I've been to see the Cher show. You see, the original name was an amalgamation of Aarons and Friedley's first names. Alex A. Aarons and Vinton Friedley. The theater was renamed for playwright Neil Simon in 1983, and it's operated by the Netherlander organization, like most of the theaters on the in the Broadway district, besides Schubert. Netherlander also owns some theaters like Schubert. They're tied together in some way. But yeah, back to the video. Directed by Harold Prince with choreography by Ernest Flatt, it starred Bob Holliday as Clark Kent and Superman, Patricia Marand as Lois Lane, Jack Cassidy as Mac Menken, and Linda Lavin as Sydney. The production received generally positive reviews, but like I said before, it failed to catch on with the theater going public, and it closed on July 17th of 1966. That's not so bad since it opened on March 29th, but it only had 129 performances. It did receive 3 Tony Award nominations. Jack Cassidy was nominated for Best Actor, and Michael Sullivan playing the main villain was nominated for Best Featured Actor, and Patricia Marland was nominated for Best Featured Actress. One of the songs from the score, You've Got Possibilities, had some success outside of the show as a nightclub and cabaret standard. According to composer Charles Strouse, The official title of the show includes quotation marks. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. The program for the show does not include ellipses. I don't know what that means. What does ellipses mean? A regular oval shape traced by a point moving in a plane so that the sum of its distance from two other points, the constant or resulting when a cone is... This is not science class! Get this shit out of here! So despite what I just told you about the show ending very, quickly, only having 129 performances in 1966, 2 productions were staged the next year, both at the St. Louis Municipal Opera and the Kansas City Starlight Theater, both in 1966, and they were both titled Superman. Restaged the show, and Bob Holliday played Superman in both productions, so he was still Superman!
Up in the sky! Look! It's a bird! It's a plane!
Superman! Okay, cut that off.
Each was an open-air venue, requiring the use of a large crane to facilitate Superman's flights. That is brave. Other cast members in these 2 productions were Karen Morrow as Sydney and Charles Nelson Reilly as Dr. Sedgwick. He was in Brawley before. He was in Bye Bye Birdie and Hello Dolly and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. W stuff. He looks like, that guy from The Kingsman. I'm talking about, that guy whose character is implied to be... I don't know if this character is gay or bi. They're not really doing a good job with, gay stuff in Mamma Mia. The show was produced at the Godspeed Opera House in East Haddam, Connecticut from June through July 3rd of 1992, with Gary Jackson as Superman and Jamie Ross there too, and Vianne Cox and Gabriel Bear. Now we're on to 2007, and I just want to say, awesome, 2007. Let me explain why. So, on May 14th of 2007, the reprised Marvelous Musicals Monday program in LA presented a concert version of the musical. The cast featured Cheyenne Jackson as Superman. You know him. I know him. Do I know this guy? Anyways, Cheyenne Jackson is Superman, Jean Louisa Kelly is Lois Lane, Richard Kind is Dr. Sedgwick, but guess who plays Max McKinnon? Jack Cassidy's son, Patrick Cassidy. Yes, Jack Cassidy's son, Patrick Cassidy, plays his father's role. And the composer plays Perry White. But that's not the cool thing, okay? Patrick Cassidy is his dad's role. To make things even cooler, he is the uncle of the Katie Cassidy, who has been in Arrow, as who well, she was also in Supernatural. She was Ruby in the 3rd season of Supernatural. She was also in Gossip Girl and in the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. But besides that, she is Black Canary. So yes, Patrick Cassidy is the uncle to Black Canary from Arrow and The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. And also she's Vixen, a character in the show Vixen. It's like whatever. To make things crazier, her dad is David Cassidy! Look, we'd be here all day if I made a video about the Cassidys, okay? Specifically David Cassidy, but he's not getting a video until I tackle the Partridge Family biopic movie. I've only talked about the Partridge Family in cartoon form, but again, I'm getting distracted. From June 15th to June 17th, the musical was presented in concert at the Yorks Theater Musicals at MUFTI series in New York City, with Jackson, Kelly, and Strauss reprising their roles from the LA concert. Others in the cast included Leah DeLaura as Dr. Sedgwick and Shoshana Bean as Sydney. You know Shoshana Bean, she's a very famous Broadway actress. And David Rasht as Max McKinnon. Bob Holliday, the original Superman, attended the matinee for the show. From June 18th to July 25th of 2010, the Dallas Theater Center presented a revised version of the show starring Matt Cavanaugh, who was not related to Tom Cavanaugh. I researched this before. In the dual role of Superman and Clark Kent, and Zyka Young as Lois Lane, Patrick Cassidy once again as Mac McKinnon, and Matt Cavanaugh's real-life wife, Jenny Powers, as Sydney Sharp. Patrick Cassidy developed laryngitis during the run of the show, and choreographer Joel Farrell took over the role until Patrick Cassidy recovered. The new book for the show was written and by a playwright and Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. Roll the footage. Roll the footage. Roll the
Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, the creator and showrunner of Riverdale. I have made a couple of videos where I talk about this man. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that at this point, Roberto is pretty much my own personal nemesis. He has a very questionable history in Hollywood, and most of all, despite the fact that most of his projects have been failures, except for Riverdale, which is the only show out of the 4 he created that wasn't cancelled within 2 years, he gets to make anything he wants and grab any property he desires because he is friends with the right people. Basically, on his own, Roberto represents almost everything I hate about Hollywood and the current state of the film industry. Finding out that he was going to be the showrunner of Pretty Little Liars Original Sin was a brutal slap in the face.
I'm so glad I don't have to lose my mind over that guy. That's all Friendly Space Ninja's job. Anyways, a staged concert production took place as part of New York City Center's Encore series from March 20th to 24th of 2013. The cast included Edward Watts as Superman and Will Swenson as Max McKenna, whatever. And with Jenny Powers playing Lois Lane. I almost said Superman. Jenny Powers had played Sydney Sharp in the 2010 Dallas Revival, so it's kind of funny that she... Whatever. And on March 23rd, Bob Holliday, who originated the role of Superman on Broadway, attended the show and met with the cast. The show's UK premiere was played in London on March 2014 at Ye Old Rose and Crown Theatre and was produced by All Star Productions. After positive reviews, the real star of the show is Charles Strauss and Lee Adams' delightful score, wrote the musicaltheaterreview.com. The show transferred to the Leicester Square Theatre in the West End for a limited run in February of 2015. And in 2016, which is the only known thing about the musical now, there was a first production of the show in the German language in Braunschweig, Germany. The Onstage School of Musical is producing the German premiere in the Brunswiga. I know I probably butchered that, but you don't care. I don't think you care. There's not much to really say about the TV special. The musical was made into a TV special when it first aired during a late night time slot on ABC on February 21st, 1975, so like a couple years after 1966. The show was filmed on video over the course of 3 days, and it was also significantly shortened, and the script was significantly changed, and the ethnicity of a troupe of evildoers was changed from Chinese acrobats to mafia-style gangsters. Yeah, this is not aged well. 4 musical numbers were all dropped from this production. The ones being Doing Good, It's Super Nice, So Long Big Guy, and We Don't All Matter. So, while they did cut those songs, the sound of the remaining musical numbers were updated for a more contemporary 1970s sensibility. In addition to all I told you about the musical numbers and like all the other stuff, a new musical number was made for the special called It's a Great Country. The show is broadcast on the ABC network under its Wide World of Entertainment late night umbrella title to poor critical reception. It starred David Wilson as Superman / Clark Kent, Leslie Ann Warren as Lois Lane, Loretta Swit as Sydney, David Wayne as Dr. Abner Sedgwick, Alan Ludden as Perry White, Kenneth Mars as Max Menken, and Gary Owens as the old-time radio-style voiceover narrator. Viewers of this remake felt that the TV production lacked the energy of the original Broadway show. And, well, it definitely shows in Superman's costume. So that was the whole video. It's also probably the last time I'll be talking about superhero-based musicals, as I will be getting more into movie musicals, like movies that have gotten musicals, like Carrie and Rocky and American Psycho, but I've already talked about American Psycho, but I might need to fix that video. No, that was a good video. I don't need to fix that video. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The next video is Coneheads almost getting a cartoon. It had a pilot, but never went anywhere, and Rankin Bass helped with it, which is funny because we just talked about them doing the Osmonds and the Jackson 5 cartoon. Irony, I know. Before I really end the video off, I'd like to mention that previously on this channel, I did a court case about the Kroft brothers and McDonald's, and I said that in that video that it would be the only episode. I obviously lied. I didn't think I would make 2 more, but there's only going to be 2 more, and that's it. I'm not going to look at any other court cases. Besides that, I just want you to know that. As I record this video, I'm up to 597 subscribers, so I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel and make sure to turn on post notifications, because I have a whole schedule of videos that I've made thumbnails for, and they will be coming up very soon, and I just can't wait to make those videos. But I really want to get to 600 so I can be able to make a really big video. I've been debating on if it should be Saved by the Bell or the Brady Bunch. I'll put a community post up soon after I make this video. But, yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I want to reach 600, and I'll see you all in the next video.